Asterisk, it began like any other late-night appearance. The audience was buzzing. The lights were warm, and Stephen Colbert, with his trademark mix of charm and wit, welcomed the Hollywood legend Denzel Washington onto the stage. But no one in the theater, and certainly not the millions watching at home, could have predicted how quickly the evening would turn from lighthearted banter to a tense, emotional standoff that left the audience stunned. And Denzel Washington, walking off the set, asterisk, the opening minutes were pure magic. Denzel, dressed in a sharp navy suit, traded laughs with Colbert about his upcoming film and his love for classic jazz. The crowd roared at every joke. There was an undeniable energy to masters of their craft in perfect sync. But then, Colbert steered the conversation toward a recent political statement Denzel had made during a university commencement speech. Denzel had urged young people to stand firm in truth, even if it costs you everything. Asterisk, Colbert leaned forward, eyebrow arched. Denzel, don't you think in today's America, truth is subjective? Isn't it dangerous to encourage people to follow something that might just be their opinion? Asterisk, the air seemed to shift. Denzel's smile faded slightly, his voice growing deeper, more deliberate. Stephen, truth isn't subjective when it's rooted in moral clarity. We've confused comfort with truth. Sometimes truth is uncomfortable. That's how change happens. Asterisk, the crowd applauded, but Colbert wasn't ready to move on. But don't you think that kind of talk can divide people even more? Asterisk, Denzel leaned back, eyes locked on Colbert, and for a long moment there was silence. Then he spoke, voice firm but calm. Division doesn't come from telling the truth. It comes from hiding it. If that makes some people uncomfortable, maybe they need to be. Asterisk, that was the spark. The exchange grew more pointed. Colbert pressed about political polarization. Denzel countered with stories of his upbringing, of his mother's wisdom, of growing up in neighborhoods where people disagreed fiercely but still broke bread together. His words were measured but passionate. Asterisk, but then Colbert made a remark that cut deeper than anyone expected. Well, maybe Hollywood actors should stick to making movies instead of preaching from a pulpit. Asterisk, the audience gasped. Denzel's jaw tightened. And maybe talk show hosts should remember that the world doesn't change with jokes alone, he replied, his voice like steel. Asterisk, for a few seconds, it was pure tension. No laughter, no applause, just silence. Denzel then removed his microphone, stood up slowly, and with a nod to the audience said, "Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. But I won't be part of a conversation that belittles truth." He walked off stage, leaving Colbert visibly rattled. Asterisk, the camera panned awkwardly back to Colbert, who attempted a joke to ease the tension, but it fell flat. Online, clips of the moment went viral within minutes. Social media lit up with hashtags. Hashtag Denzel walks out and hashtag Truth Matters. Some criticized Denzel for being too sensitive, while others praised him for standing his ground in a culture where entertainment often takes precedence over honesty. Asterisk, by the next morning, Denzel released a short statement. I have no ill will towards Stephen Colbert, but my voice is mine to use. I will not stay silent when truth is on the line. Colbert, to his credit, also issued a response, acknowledging that the conversation had gotten away from both of us and inviting Denzel back for a real, uninterrupted discussion. Asterisk, though the clash was fiery, the story didn't end in bitterness. 2 weeks later, Denzel and Colbert appeared together at a charity event for children's literacy, smiling side by side. The handshake they shared was long. The embrace afterwards spoke louder than words. Asterisk, the incident became more than just late-night drama. It became a reminder that sometimes standing for what you believe in means walking away, even from the brightest stage. It reminded viewers that dignity is worth more than applause, and that even in a world divided by opinions, Respect can bridge the gap. Asterisk, and for those who watched that night, whether they agreed with Denzel or not, one truth rang clear. Courage is not measured by the size of your audience, but by the strength of your convictions.